Hey guys, it's Rachel. You guys send in a lot of your questions to us, and so we wanted to come and answer some of your questions for today. So I've got Barrett with me, and I'm going to ask him our first question, and that is, Barrett,
Yes.
how did Noah fit all of the animals on the ark?
That's a great question, Rachel. And we actually get this question a lot. And I think what happens is we try to imply our logic from the way that we think, the way that we understand the world, to miracles that God does sometimes. And it doesn't always compute. Like you think about Jesus walking on water. Well, how did he walk on water? Like water you can't walk on. How could he possibly do that? And we're missing the point that all things are possible with God. It's easy to walk on water for him. It's effortless for him to do these sort of things. To part an ocean in half. And we think, okay, well, how was there a strong wind that parted it? And it's like, well, all things are possible with God. So if God can create the world, God can dictate how the world should work and change any of the rules that he placed around our universe. I know that sounds like a cop-out, but it's important to remember before we then start talking about Noah's Ark. So let's get into Noah's Ark. I've heard a lot of theories. I've heard people say, oh, well, what if all the animals were babies? And then the babies fit pretty easy. Like baby elephants are like, I don't know exactly how big. They're pretty small. I've seen videos. They're pretty small. And then, if they're babies, then it's less to feed. So maybe you had like a bunch of baby animals, which would have been the cutest parade in human history. Wow, a parade of baby animals on the ark. I would have loved to see that. But maybe it was that. I've heard other people speculate that God could have, at the time when they got on the ark, just kind of had like a Mary Poppins bag. You know how Mary Poppins has this bag where you can just infinitely put things in it, and maybe that's how the ark was. I've also seen people like at the Creation Museum, or what's the museum in Kentucky? I think it's actually called the Noah's Ark Experience, where you can see a replica, a life-size replica of Noah's Ark, and you can actually see how the animals could all fit there, and they've demonstrated that out. So I don't think it's a stretch to think they all could fit on the ark. But I certainly think there is a supernatural element to not only the command to get on the ark, to provide a way for salvation for everyone, or for Noah and his family and for the animals, but also there's a supernatural element to God preserving the ark, protecting it during the flood, making it possible for them to have enough food, all of those things. God either provided provision, or there was what they needed, or I think God certainly was able to supernaturally supplement and keep their safety ensured. So I think that's how God fit all the animals in the ark. He's God, all things are possible. We can speculate about how maybe, whether the animals were babies or not.